Hi Fitch, my name is Kirsten and today I'm presenting my industry research as an employee for assignment 1 of professional practice. I will start my presentation off by introducing myself a bit, talking a bit about myself. So I am 22, currently a student in digital media design, and I'm an aspiring web designer that wants to work in brand and identity in designing for better sustaining practices. I will go through the 6 studios that I've listed today, which are all encompassed around mostly web design and branding. The first one that I will talk about is a local one today in Fitzroy, which is a technology and design studio that uses strategic design and branding to make services and brands more relevant and better for the world. So today's studio uses smart and accessible technology to navigate complex design issues and rethink problems. I will go through their website with you now, as many of their projects are based on UI UX. Most of them, they are categorized, and that is what spoke to me the most, is that most of the categories were stuff like sustainable cities and communities, education, mental health, and public service. And I did my research on today and another studio called Portable, because both of them work alongside with the Australian government a lot to make the information more accessible and more user friendly for the demographic. So they do a lot of work in non-profit as well, which does align with the same values that I have. Next, I will talk about how today's studio differentiates from others, so the scaling of the problems and challenges, working with a variety of charities and government-funded organisations. Today's studio differentiates from others because they work within a smaller community, and the community that doesn't get too much exposure with other fields of design and innovation such as graphic or branding and identity. So the work they do directly affects the people that interacts with it and engages with it, which is quite admiring. And because today's studio also presents itself as quite an inclusive and safe environment for all creatives to work. The next one is AKQA in St Kilda, which is another local studio. AKQA is a multidisciplinary studio that focuses on, again, service design and product design. So they build narratives for clients in a range of fields, whether that's entertainment, hospitality, real estate, or food and TV. As you can see here, they've done a bit of work in cinema, advertising, animation as well. So AKQA compared to today is a bit more of a broad studio, and they deal with, again, complex design challenges that arise from different people. Paper Stone Scissors is a studio based in Shanghai, Sydney, and Melbourne. So they are an international bound creative design studio that focuses on integrating creativity into brand identity. The reason why I chose Paper Stone Scissors was because they are local, as well as having an initiative called Your Turn that invites younger creatives to come together and basically experience a 3-month internship and immerse themselves in design and education. So I found that quite admirable, because being in a position I would also be reaching out for a similar role or to participate in a similar activity. As Paper Stone Scissors doesn't have too many projects on their website, it's quite a general, branding studio that does work. However, most of their work is local, which is why I chose them. I did recognize maybe 70% of the work that they've done, and it pushed me to do more research on them, because it turns out that even though they do have a base in Shanghai, most of the work that they do is for China consumerists, and to obviously working with visual language, as you can see here, they are able to, I guess, stand out as a studio because of how local the work they do is and how recognizable it is, and if it resonated with me, then I'm sure it resonated with other people as well. I'll go back to the presentation slides. It's a project they did for Melbourne Food and Wine Festival, and their mantra in believing in creative thinking to build a better future. I'll go on to talk about Portable Design, which is what I mentioned before. They are a local Collingwood-based design studio that focuses on innovation in social need sectors, which are the 5 listed on the right. So this includes justice, education, public sector, mental health, and death and aging. So Portable Design targets projects that can make a difference in areas that need a lot of engagement and awareness. So think about mental health, lawsuits, stuff that is quite intimidating to approach without the assistance of a more user-friendly interface. So the work that they've done, they've divided it up into these sectors here, and it's mostly government and non-for-profit work, so very similar to today's studio, but their work, they have a stronger portfolio, stronger experience in doing these types of works in the public sector. And it is really good and admirable to be taking on these issues and challenges that are quite wide, like it's quite universal for some people, and to put that design touch onto it and make it very, very user-friendly to approach issues such as family violence and improving government innovation. Portable Design salary and wage is looking to be around 84 and 106k annually, and this is for a senior role, so it can vary for a junior designer role, which averages about, to begin with, 45k, and it can lead up to around 80k annually, depending on their certification and credentials. Portable Design is also really good with their work culture, as it is quite self-directed and supported. It's a supported environment that strongly encourages team climate, and providing respectful feedback is highly appreciated and regarded in order to produce better iterations of design. And here you can see some of the work they've done to create a better experience for people attending court. A friend of mine, the next 2 studios I'll talk about are studios that I don't see myself working in, but having the exposure would be useful. So a friend of mine is a web-based design studio that works with a lot of website development, and they have work ranging from interior design to real estate to restaurant and visual brand development. And I chose a friend of mine, 1, because I do like the website, and 2, I think the work done is quite clean and it shows their capabilities. This is the work that they've done with Loon and some other restaurants, a bit of typography as well. They're quite a small studio as well, which is why I don't see myself working with them freshly out of uni. It is something that maybe I'm better off doing when I'm further down the line or during my middle stages of being a designer. And here are their salary and wages, which is quite similar to the other studios. And then lastly, I have Pentagram Design Studio, which is probably the biggest of the ones that I've done my research on. So they have a large studio with thousands of creatives and associates. And a web developer at Pentagram would be looking at around 41 to 44k a year, which is more so on the lower end, whereas their other roles such as UI designer or freelance would be looking at around 58 to 65. Pentagram I put in as a reference for maybe the future when I'm a senior designer, as their work is very, very varied. It's not honed in on a specific specialization, which is why I think it's not suited for me now. However, I would love to work in the space with lots and lots of people to bounce ideas off of when I'm a bit more confident in my design and sure of what I want to do. And also, they are based in New York, so it is one of the longer goals down the road. And here are some of their technology-based projects. And then I'll just go through what these businesses have in common, which is thriving business, of course, working towards the client's goals and tasks and bringing in market value. Second is they all do quite thoughtful and sustaining design, so designing solutions through visual language and for the long-term run. And then thirdly, building towards a better future through design, so initiatives that produce timeless results and better system and navigation design. This is my website and folio that has all my work on it that you can view in your spare time after this presentation. KT Design holds most of my CV and details regarding my work. And then that's just a note for myself on what I'm lacking in my CV currently and what my CV holds. And then here are some recruitment agencies that I have listed, the bottom two being the ones that I resonate with the most because they're a bit more appropriate for me and what I want to do in the future, and they are a bit more personalized. And that is all. If there's any concerns, please feel free to let me know, or I hope you enjoy reading through the research paper, and I hope I haven't missed anything. Thank you, Fitch.